Hey, in this episode, we're going to talk about Matthew Modine and Full Metal Jacket and some of his artwork that he has on display across the country at the Veterans Memorial events. Do you want me to tell you a little bit about something upcoming?
Yes.
So I've got an actor that so I got a phone call to do. They're looking for some props for a veterans display. So there's this national veterans display, Veterans Memorial.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a certain display that's going around from Matthew Modine.
Matthew Modine, yes.
Modine, okay. From Matthew Modine.
Who did Full Metal Jacket with Stanley Kubrick.
Yes. So I wanted to talk a little bit about Full Metal Jacket. I want to talk a little bit about Matthew and a couple things that of interest. What I didn't know, that he took a bunch of photos behind the scenes,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been on a national tour. All his photos. I don't know specifically what made it such a big deal, but it's coming to Columbus.
Oh, I will go see that in a heartbeat.
So I've been talking with the what do you call the person that runs the
Curator?
Yeah, curator. So we're gonna do a set. They're gonna do this. They want to make a movie kind of set to put all his artwork up, his photos. So the photos are gonna come in next week, and then later in that week, we're gonna take some film equipment down, and that's gonna be there all through the end of the year. The display. And I don't expect Matthew to show up, but it got me into wanting to talk about Full Metal Jacket, Stanley Kubrick, and some of the things about Matthew that's quite interesting.
Well, the interesting thing for that is he did a book. His diary from making Full Metal Jacket is a hardback book that I have.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah. I've got his book, which had a bunch of those photos. His Full Metal Jacket diary is a printed book that came out, and I've got a great copy. It's a silver metal bookcase.
How did it get turned into a book, and when did that happen?
Oh, this was maybe 20 years ago. He put out the book after Stanley Kubrick.
After he passed away. Yeah.
After he passed away. And what's really fascinating was, there's a bunch of stuff I never knew till I read that, which was, I have two books written. There's Michael Herr, Herr, who wrote the screenplay with Stanley. He wrote the voiceovers for Apocalypse Now.
Mm-hmm.
Stanley was so impressed, he hired him to co-write Full Metal Jacket with him. So he wrote a book about working with Stanley, and then Matthew Modine wrote a book about working with Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah.
I have a whole bookshelf of nothing but books about Stanley Kubrick.
Okay.
Because he's one of my favorite filmmakers of all time, and I'm fascinated with the fact that no two people view him as the same person.
Interesting.
Everybody that got to know him and work with him had a completely different experience. They all thought of him as a different person. Like, it's as if he was a chameleon, but I don't think it's that as much as I think there's some consistencies. He had OCD. He also, there's just so many weird myths and rumors about the man that just get dispelled when you talk to family members or interview family members. And Full Metal Jacket was interesting because it takes place in Vietnam. They never left London to film it. It was entirely shot in an old warehouse area that was being torn down. So Stanley cut a deal. It's like, I want this area for a year. And by planting some palm trees and with set design with some Vietnamese building signs, nobody knew that wasn't shot right in the middle of the heart of London. It was unbelievable. Because when you watch the movie, you're convinced you're there.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I wanted to. There was one good story. So, obviously, Stanley Kubrick. You talked about. We know that how many takes he would do and how much, and nobody could why question, if you were to, he would compare it to something else. Like, you would never question, a man to do this or that. Why would you question me on how many takes I do, but Matthew on set, this one kind of blew me away, and it may be I'm sure it's in the book, but his wife was pregnant, and Stanley would not let him leave the set because he didn't want to mess up the schedule.
Yep.
And he begged and got in an argument. He finally just got in a crazy argument, and he still didn't give in till eventually he let him go to go see his wife in the hospital who's going to have a baby. I mean, that's...
There's a book and documentary about his driver, Emilio.
Okay.
He had a driver named Emilio. He was a former race car driver that in his older age became Stanley's driver. This is the craziness of Stanley Kubrick. He personally paid close to, it was $900,000, almost $1 million, to have the best brain surgeons flown in to help Emilio's son, so that Emilio would go to the store to pick up his brand of pens for him.
No kidding.
That's
wow.
What we're talking about when we talk about OCD. He was such a generous, nice man. He paid $900,000 out of pocket, but wouldn't let Emilio have a day off work because he didn't want to. He paid $900,000 so his schedule wouldn't be interrupted.
Yes, he's very particular about his schedules.
He didn't want anything in his life interrupted. That was his creative process. Like,
I see.
If something goes wrong and I get upset, I won't be able to do anything for days.
Yeah, that's it. He'd throw him way off his rhythm.
And he would pay obscene amounts of money to keep it. But he was also, so it's like, he was helping Emilio and he cared about his son. He was like, is your son okay? I'll do whatever I can to make sure he's all right, so that you don't miss a day of work. It's like it's just the strangest thing. It's like
I had another story I wanted. So in that, veers off course a little bit, but the gunnery sergeant Hartman, R. Lee
Ermey,
right? So Matthew said, how he's up in your face, and how he got that role. He was there helping cast for that role.
He was a technical consultant.
Yeah,
because he was an actual gunnery sergeant that trained boys for Vietnam. So he was perfect for that job. And everybody in the audition didn't come close to him.
Yes.
And so he said, and
Stanley picked up on it, of course.
Not only did Stanley pick up on that, Stanley Kubrick, who writes his screenplays or co-writes every screenplay, believes the script is a Bible that should never, ever be changed or messed with in any way. Let Arlie Ermey improv.
Yes, you're right.
80% of his lines are improvs that he threw out. Those insults were just things he flew off the cuff on one take. And that's the thing that so one of the things Modine would say is like, we had the worst time trying not to laugh.
Yeah.
And he goes, and you regretted it if you did.
Oh, I could imagine.
Because he would not break character.
Yeah.
He would not.
They said he was a nice guy though too.
Yes.
But you're right. His character but that was his character. I mean, that was part of his personality.
Yep.
But the funniest thing about him, that Matthew commented on, and I don't think it's out there very much. First off, Arlie was a chain smoker.
Yep.
He's also a big time coffee drinker. So when he got up in the faces of those guys,
terrible breath.
His breath smelled so bad, it was described as like the sewers in London. That it came from within his stomach and emanated all the way up and into their faces. And he's like, right here. I wouldn't be able to, I wouldn't be laughing. I'd be going, what the fuck is wrong with your breath? Because that is something that would be so hard to deal with in a scene like that.
And again, that movie is so strange because it's like, it's basically two different movies. There's Boot Camp, and then there's Vietnam. And it's far more famous for its boot camp half than it is the Vietnam half.
I mean, that's the part, I think, because that's the fun part. Like you get in the war and all that nastiness, that's that. But, what happens in boot camp?
The other thing from the book that I found fascinating was Matthew Modine, his best friend, was Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah.
And once he was cast in Full Metal Jacket, he pushed for Vincent to get the part of Private Pile. And at the time, because if you ever see, there's that movie Adventures in Babysitting, you can see Vincent D'Onofrio played Thor. He was skinny and muscular, and that's what he was like when he got the part. And they fed him milkshakes and wouldn't let him exercise to get him fattened up to play Private Pile.
Oh my gosh!
And he has struggled to keep the weight off ever since he did the movie.
Oh wow, that's jeez, poor him.
The rest of his life, he's struggled to keep that weight off.
Well, it looks like Ozempic will take care of that.
Well, he's now playing Kingpin in Marvel, so I'm not expecting him to lose the weight that much. Although I will say, between the original Daredevil on Netflix to Daredevil on Disney Plus, he has trimmed some serious weight. For Kingpin, he doesn't look particularly fat anymore.
I see. I wanted to mention, in case somebody hasn't seen Full Metal Jacket or don't really know who Matthew is, he played Papa
in Stranger
Things. So I originally, watching when Papa, Dr. was it Brenner?
Yeah.
Martin Brenner comes in. I did not catch that was
he's got
him.
The gray hair.
Yeah. But
I caught him because he also played the police chief in Dark Knight Rises.
Okay.
But Matthew Modine, the reason he was so great in Stranger Things was it was kind of an homage. Like, he did that big 80s movie called Vision Quest.
Yeah, that was a big movie.
Playing the wrestler. So he had this big 80s movie teen credential. So when you put him in Stranger Things, just like Winona Ryder had done, before Reality Bites being college, she did Lucas and Beetlejuice in the 80s. So she was an 80s teen actress. So that was one of their brilliance in that casting for Stranger Things.
It's true. Yeah, the casting
grabbing the
brilliant.
80s people to play the middle-aged people in the 80s.
Yeah.
And now they've got Linda Hamilton from the Terminator movies.
She's in
the new season.
Well, is she part of the...
we don't know.
Okay. We don't know what part she's playing. Okay. Well,
she has not appeared in a trailer yet that I know of.
I mean, she was in what's the name of the alien?
She was in Terminator.
No, I'm talking about, there's a comedy, the alien that's in the town. Boy, I love this. 3 episodes on...
Resident Alien?
Yeah, Resident Alien.
That's awesome.
Linda Hamilton's, she comes in as running in the military. She's one of these, behind-the-scenes generals of alien invasions. And she comes marching in that show. So I'm glad to see that she's carrying it right into Stranger Things.
Yep, she's going to be perfect. I mean, I am so looking forward to Stranger Things wrapping up, but apparently it looks like the new season, the big rumor now is that all the run times that are on the internet are wrong, and that some of the episodes are longer.
Okay, longer is...
episodes are going to be 90-minute to 100-minute feature films for just one
You
episode.
really think so? Maybe a couple.
They did that in the last season. There were several... At least 3 or 4 were over 90 minutes.
Well, then I don't feel cheated, because I really get upset when you turn it on and it's about 24 minutes long.
Yeah, Stranger Things is going to be super long. And even then, for that last season, there were a couple Columbus actors that landed roles, and they said they were there for months, had whole scenes and lines and stuff that got entirely cut.
And they were just hanging out waiting to see if they were going to...
They filmed for months and had lines and did serious scenes.
See. And then they didn't make it.
Down in Atlanta, and then when the episodes come out, they're barely in it.
Yeah, well, that happens a lot.
They got glorified as extras.
Yeah. That's disappointing when that happens. You think, oh, man, I got a whole 5-minute lines, and then you come in, you're just a face in the background.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens, though.
Oh, it happens all the time. Matter of fact, what brings me to is Superman and The Witcher, right? So he what's the guy?
Henry Cavill.
Yeah, now it comes out that he left Witcher because he thought he was going to be Superman.
No. What happened was the story behind The Witcher on Netflix of why Henry Cavill left.
Yeah, let me hear it.
Henry Cavill, that big, muscular, good-looking guy, is a complete dork.
Yeah.
He's a sci-fi geek like me.
Yeah.
He loved the original material.
Yeah.
And so the whole thing was he was getting really angry.
Well, that's what he says.
At how much he thought they were changing
Yeah.
the character. He was unhappy doing it because he's arguing with the showrunner. He's like, the comics or the source, the books would never, the guy from the books would never do this.
I don't
Do you
know,
think
man.
he actually left because he thought Superman was coming back?
He thought he was going to be James Gunn's Superman. That's what he thought.
Man,
that's what they had him cast as that part, and something happened in the last second, and James Gunn changed his mind.
I know that he had met with him about doing something because the same way that you had Aquaman and what's his name?
Not Jason.
Yeah, Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa met with him and immediately was willing to, because they didn't want him as Aquaman, but they go, well, you could be perfect as Lobo. He goes, that's what I originally wanted was Lobo. So now he's in Supergirl movie that's already being shot.
Mm-hmm.
He playing Lobo, and that's confirmed. Like, that's not a rumor. That's confirmed. He's playing Lobo in the Supergirl movie that's already been shot. Or is shooting right now. I'm not sure which.
That guy, did you know he's like a little filmmaker? Documentary filmmaker?
Who, Momoa?
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen a few things. Like, he did some really interesting stuff with his motorcycle biking.
Yeah.
I've seen, he's done ads for a motorcycle company that were like documentary style, and they were really, really good.
He was, I've seen different things where he bought himself a Red, and he got some other little cameras, and he's sitting there talking about he's just like us in one regard. Of course, obviously, he's got a lot more money and a lot more fame now, but he likes to dabble in documentary type stuff and
he's an interesting guy. He seems really down to earth.
Yeah. Well, I think what I've realized over time, those people that come from Florida or that national
Hawaii, I think.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Those people that like him that are in Hawaii, they are the nicest people. That nationality is, what do you call it, Momoa or not?
Samoan.
Samoan. They really are genuine, nice people, and the guys are really big, but they're gentle sweethearts. They really are.
A lot of those guys are.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa seems like one of the nicest guys in real life.
Yeah, I think he is. I think he really
seems really down to earth. Like, it doesn't seem like the fame has gotten too much to his head, but like, I haven't heard the rumors from set. Like, I've heard other people that he's a douche. Like, I've never heard that about him ever.
No.
I hear he actually ends up hanging out with like the Grips.
Oh, I would totally believe it. Yeah.
Like, he's the guy where the Grips are hanging around a grill having steaks at his trailer.
No, I don't think he was on. No, I don't know if he rides motorcycles or. Yeah, he has motorcycle stuff. I don't know. What's the guy from? He's got a motorcycle show too from
Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead. Daryl.
Yeah,
Daryl
Dixon. Yeah,
he has a little. They go out and motorcycle ride, and I don't know if Jason's been on it, but I did see. My other favorite actor with the John Wick series,
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves, and I don't know what's Daryl Dixon's name, the actor's actual name. I thought his name was Daryl.
No, his real name is...
just because I've seen him in the show for so long, now I think his name is Daryl. Yeah, sorry, that's bad on me. But they go out and do little documentaries. So
yeah, he does stuff on that. The other one is Ewan McGregor.
Oh yeah,
Obi-Wan. He's done reality shows, documentaries of like riding his bike from South America all the way to Alaska.
Oh, wow. Let me just find out real quick, because I hate to leave it at that.
Yeah, I don't want to leave it without knowing his real name, because I can't believe I can't remember at the top of my head.
And that's a shame. That's what happens when you wing it. Norman Reedus. It's the Daryl Dixon, Norman Reedus.
Norman Reedus.
He's the one that he has a little motorcycle where they travel, documentary. I don't know if you call it. I guess you'd call it
documentary or a reality show.
Reality show, yeah. And I've seen Keanu Reeves on it, and I don't know whether Jason's been on it or not, but I haven't watched the show. But it's nice to see actors like that who actually have a real passion for something that normal people can
relate to.
Yeah.